If you're here right now, you're probably a lot like me. You've built the businesses, you've checked the boxes. You're the responsible one, the strong one, the one everybody else leans on. And yet you still catch yourself thinking, why does this feel so hard? Why does this not feel like it's enough? I get it because most of my life I was building a version of success that looked amazing on the outside while quietly I was just unraveling on the inside. I've spent 4 decades of my life chasing achievement and productivity and overfunctioning and ignoring my intuition, living in survival mode and trying to earn a sense of worthiness that I already had. And here's the honest truth: it cost me my peace, it cost me my joy, and it almost cost me myself. So I'm going to tell you in less time than it takes you to eat lunch, the lessons I learned in 40 years that would have saved me years of burnout, overwhelm, and self-betrayal. And my hope is that you don't have to spend the next 40 years learning the same lessons. And here's the part of the show where I remind you to like and subscribe so you can continue to see all of our free content that we work so hard to produce for you each week. So, here's the first lesson I learned. You can build a beautiful life and it still feel misaligned. But how? How can it feel misaligned if it's a beautiful life? It can simply be not for you anymore. It can be what you used to want, but not what you want anymore. It doesn't always have to stay the same. Just because that felt good in your 20s doesn't mean that same version feels good in your 40s. The second thing I learned is your intuition is wiser than your logic. Your intuition whispers to you long before burnout, overwhelm, betrayal ever shouts. I have been betrayed this last year in ways I never knew was humanly possible. But if I'm being honest, if I think back to the months and years leading up to that, all the red flags were there. Like every major breakthrough in life or every major breakdown in life, like all the signs are usually there if we will just turn inside into our knowing and listen to that voice inside of us, letting us know what is happening around us instead of just trying to think what is always logical, right? The next thing is survival mode is not a personality trait. You can't live there. When something tragic or hard happens in your life, you do go into survival mode for a short period of time. And it's the same level of endorphins that help you survive if you're running from a lion chasing you, right? Like when my mom committed suicide, or you lose a job, or I suffered a miscarriage, like those modes are switched on when major life events happen, but it's not something that can become your normal. It's something that you put on and that you take off. Survival mode, you can't live there forever. That state of urgency is the opposite of clarity. So you cannot be urgent and clear at the same time. Your brain can't function in both of those buckets. So realizing that I couldn't live in survival mode anymore and that is not something for you to wear like a coat of armor is life-changing. And the next thing is if it costs you your peace, it's too expensive. So peace is not something I valued in my 20s and my 30s, and it's something in my 40s that I crave. I crave it like I crave dark chocolate at night after dinner, right? Or a good glass of wine every once in a while. Peace is a metric. And if it feels peaceful, then it's more aligned with who it is that you truly are becoming, right? Because peace tells the truth a lot faster than profit or words of affirmation or somebody giving you compliments so that you don't notice all the things that they're doing behind your back. So peace is something that I continue to look for in my 40s that I just didn't pay attention to or didn't know. And so hopefully it won't take you as long as it took me to have it knock me over the head and actually have to understand what a big deal that is in your life, right? And the next thing I learned is letting go is a skill, not a failure. So in life, like you achieve different things. You meet new people, you get friendships, you have relationships. In my case, you have marriages and divorces, several of them, but realizing that as things change directions, there is a season for everything. There's a time for everything under the sun. What is always was. And it's okay to let things go, to let other things come in. And that's not a failure. And that is like releasing the old and letting in the new is probably like my biggest achievement. I feel like in my 40s, which isn't anything I actually had to do, but was like a mindset I had to get shifted, right, all the pieces right in my brain. And number six, the sixth thing I've learned in my 40s is you don't owe anyone a version of yourself that hurts you. Sometimes boundaries are hard because you feel like you're related to them or they're friends with so and so or it's your boss or you know what? There is no one in your life other than your children, right? And sometimes I'm sure mine's 8, so I can't relate to adult children here. But if you didn't birth them, then they don't have to be there. That's my mantra, right? Because you deserve to protect yourself, to protect your boundaries, and to not give a version of yourself that hurts, that someone else is hurting all the time. That could be verbally, that could be physically, that could be emotionally, but like don't ignore those signs. Go back to that intuition and realize that pain they're causing you, that is on them. That is not on you. And that's not having a victim mindset as much as I think it is, naming what's going on, acknowledging how you feel about it, and then making a decision. Okay. Number 7, you can change your mind. Even when it inconveniences other people. Like that is the best part of getting older and being in my 40s is I can change my mind and I don't have to explain it to anybody. It could just not be something I want to do anymore. And I don't have to feel guilty. I think in my 30s, I really wrestled with, I needed every decision I made to be perfect. So it would be good and last forever. But like, I don't have to do that anymore. I don't have to stay on that same decision. I can just change my mind and realize I don't want to do that anymore because the truth is that we're always evolving. We're always changing and we're always becoming newer, better versions of ourselves, or at least like hopefully. And alignment like in your life doesn't have to make sense to everyone else. Just because they don't choose that doesn't mean like that's wrong. It can be that you just made a different choice. And number 8, I'm going to take a deep breath saying this to you that hustle is a season, not a lifestyle. So if you were trying to get a business up off the ground or you've birthed a newborn, like hustle is the only thing that's going to get you through. Okay. Nobody's coming to save you. I tell everyone, if you're starting a business, you're going to have to give up the first 6 years of it. You're giving up your whole life, your friends, social obligations, all the things. It's over. It's you and the business. And if you do it to the bone after those first 6 years, things start moving and they start rolling and everything starts lining out, right? Because you're continually evolving, becoming a better version of yourself, becoming a better leader, a better communicator. And then all of a sudden, you don't have to keep that hustle hat on every day anymore. You can let it go. And number 9 is, you can't outsource your healing. Grief, you're going to have to walk through it. And grief is not just about death. And I didn't know that until after my mom died. So my mom committed suicide in 2013 after years and years and years of mental health battles and battles with prescription pain pills. And the grief that goes along with that journey, even before the death, grieving who my mom once was, grieving what our relationship once was. There is nobody else, no therapist, no life coach, no YouTube video, no podcast that can do that for me. I had to navigate those emotions. I had to go through grief recovery therapy. I had to write the letters. I had to do the work. So your healing, whether it's from grief or burnout or overwhelm or that hustle mentality or the constant need to be busy or some other kind of addiction, no one can do it for you. And you have to heal from the inside out, and it will be evident. It will come up like a big red X right onto your life if you try to take a detour and go around it. And number 10, relationships thrive when you stop overfunctioning. I remember being an overfunctioning, over-remembering, trying to keep lists and all my, in my head and all the categories and calendars and try not to forget anything and all of that. And in the meantime, I had no brain space to even talk to my friends or family members or meet new friends and genuinely say like, how are you? How's life? or to remember something about them, to remember it's their last day on a job, to remember it's their first day at school, to remember the things that matter to the people I love. I didn't love them less, but I wasn't showing up well. And so when I stopped functioning from a place of like overdoing it all the time and over responsibility and over committing, I was able to show up as someone that I truly wanted to be. And that's someone that's loving, that's caring, and that genuinely wants to connect and do life with other people. And number 11, you are allowed to want ease. And I'm going to kind of like roll my shoulders as I say this one, because I don't know like when I finally accepted this. It was just like one day I felt it, because I thought this was not true. Like I thought like having like ease is being lazy. Like, well, if things are just easy, then I just need to make them hard. I just need to start something new, or there just must be something I'm forgetting, or but the peace in life comes from surrendering your control and realizing that like you actually don't have control of anything. You can only control your behavior and how you react to everything that happens around you. And being able to give up that control, to surrender that and stop trying to earn everyone's praise or appreciation or gratitude, allowed me to put on that coat of ease and realizing like just because things are calm and there's not constant chaos doesn't mean something's wrong. Like it's okay for life to feel that way, right? And lastly, God never asks you to prove yourself, just to trust him. So whether you are a spiritual person or not, I'm here to tell you that there is a higher power, okay? I'm not going to debate religion, but there is a higher power. And when you feel like that you always have to be good enough for something, for someone else, for this person to pay attention to you, for nobody ever asked you in life to prove yourself. All you have to do is trust the process, trust the journey, turn inside, and realize that you are a work in progress and there is no destination this side of eternity, and that it's okay to always be evolving and changing. And you know what? You don't need 40 years to learn what I had to learn the hard way. You can decide today to stop doing what drains you and to build a life that feels like you again, that's fulfilled and that has ease in it and moments of peace and aligns with your future self and where it is and you're going in this journey. And if you've made it to the end of this video and you feel like this content was helpful and you are tired of going at it in life alone, click the link in the show notes to book a free call with me. Yes, me will hop on a call with you and we will talk about where you are in your journey and where it is that you want to go from here.